CCI makes a really interesting product in its lineup, known as 0074. It's a 40-grain subsonic hollow point bullet, but it's segmented into 3 equal segments. When this hits a soft target, each of the segments breaks away and tumbles through, creating its own separate wound channel. It's a devastating round on varmints. CCI makes an interesting claim about this ammunition too. They claim that this ammunition holds the same ballistics trajectory as their stalwart ammo 0056, which is a 40-grain subsonic hollow point. Now we've tested that out to 100 yards and we've confirmed that CCI is correct. But today, we're at a 200-yard range. CCI doesn't claim 200 yards of ballistics trajectory, but we're about to test it. And that's coming up next on Mostly 22 LR. Hey everybody, Rob Rosenberger here for Mostly 22 LR. It's a blistering hot day in August, the humidity is high and the cicadas are trying to have sex. But we've got the 200-yard range to ourselves and we're going to test CCI 0074 and see if its ballistics trajectory matches CCI 0056. Again, it's a continuation of the experiments that we've been doing with these 2 rounds. Now the cicadas seem to be cooperating for the moment. That's great. If they fire up like the little banshees that they are, I hope you'll put up with it. I've been putting up with them all day today. Let's take a look at these targets. This one on the far left is my sight-in target. You can see that I was a little bit right, I was a little bit left, I was a little bit high. I eventually got in and I made my final adjustments and I took what I call my control group. This is a box of 0056 that was only meant to sight in and do a control. And as you can see here, even though I thought I got my final sight in, I ended up with something being high and to the left. I wasn't happy about that, but I began the experiment with a different box of 0056 from the same lot number from CCI, and I began to shoot 20 rounds. And as you see right here, I've got a pretty good group. It's a little bit high and to the left. It's about 1.5 inches diagonal from my 0. And then I shot 0074. This one's interesting. It's only about 1/2 inch high and it's almost perfectly centered on the horizontal. I'm very happy with the CCI 0074, but I want to show you something here. Look at this. I've got a flyer right here and I've got 3 flyers down here in their own little group. I'm not sure if I should count them as the actual where the point of impact was. Dropping those flyers gives me a target that is almost perfectly where I wanted it to be. But remember, I'm high and to the left with 0056. But let's look at how far I am high and to the left. I'm only about 1.5 inches high and left here, and I'm only about 1/2 inch high here. What that means is that I'm within 1/2 an MOA, which is well within the specifications for the rifle that I'm shooting, which is a Marlin XT22 RZ. No suppressors, no nothing. It's just a straight up Marlin, and I'm getting a group that is only about 1/2 an MOA off from the target 0056 shots. This leads me to give a qualified yes that 0074 will hold the same trajectory as 0056 all the way out to 200 yards. That's an amazing statement when you're only off on an inexpensive, let's call it cheap, rifle, 1/2 an MOA. So it's a qualified yes. But I'm not happy with a qualified yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to redo this experiment in October or November when the weather finally cools off here. We'll go ahead and get low humidity, we'll get a good time, and we'll see if 0056 and 0074 land at the same point of impact. But until that day, I'm Rob Rosenberger for Mostly 22 LR. And remember, 22 LR is real ammunition. Treat it as such. Luckily, this frozen water that I've got still has a large ice cube in it. And all I have to do to make some good cold water is fill it up.